What's up, everybody? This is the Rabbit Hedgehog, and this is going to be my first review of the Indian Pursuit. This one being a Dark Horse 2024 model with the power band audio. So, of course, the upscaled speakers. Unfortunately, due to monetization rules, I will not turn up the volume today because people frown upon even 5 snippets of information and will demonetize you in a heartbeat, which is stupid. You know, maybe somebody will like to hear your song and purchase it because they heard it, but yeah, no, whatever. But anyway, this is, of course, the Challenger that has went to the taco bar and had a few too many tacos like Rabbit Hedgehog himself, and has a little bit more to it, being the full touring version with the lowers and the trunk. Generally a taller windscreen. Let me look around here. That's another Pursuit. There's the flared windshield, but usually they are a little shorter like that one over there. But this one's a little bit taller windscreen. You do get adequate trunk here. You can actually get 2 helmets generally side by side. There is a little light in there as well for you to see with a 12-volt outlet in the middle. There's still the 12-volt outlet. I almost walked by it there. That is here, under here. So they have that one as well. So you got 2 power outlets that come with it. The fairings have openings here that you can control with your foot or hand. And you can also reach down in here, and there's a little door as well that you can open and close. I'll put it in the halfway closed position there, back open. And that way you can change the airflow. The one thing about the Challenger and the Pursuit is they have very good airflow protection. One thing about the Pursuit is that it comes with the heated seat. It does not have the climate command with the cooling on it. It is strictly heated only. So what you get with the full edition of the Pursuit is you get the drive lights, which are mounted low on the fairing. You do have your trickle charge port right here. And, of course, with everything upscaled, you get Apple CarPlay. You get everything with the ride command on this one. Apple CarPlay is through a USB dongle to the right here. Storage to the left. Storage boxes here in the lowers. I'm probably going to have to hit mute in a hurry. There we go. Caught it in time. And that way we are good, especially country music. Nobody's ears needs to be pushed into that. So good deal. I caught that in time. Anywho, the controls are the same over the Indian touring lineup. So you have double up to put the windscreen all the way up, double down to put it all the way down, or you can stop it in track wherever you need to. The left side changes your screens. Navigation, of course, has the live traffic and the live weather. If you have it with certain models, you will also have speeds, and this one has the speed. You'll see it up there in the corner. And that's the live speed of the road that you're on. When it comes down to it, you get all the driver information screens again. You can do this by hard button, or you can do it by touch screen. The touch screen does work through gloves. My glove is just not quite getting that corner, but then if you want to change any of the 3 screens that are on the ride modes, you press the widget in the corner, bring it down, and change it to whatever you want to, or just leave it stock, and you can have the different split screens. If you drop down on the Indian logo here, you will see heated grips, rider seat heat, passenger seat heat, and shock preload and all that. And I'm going to go ahead and put her in sport mode because why not? One thing I like about this one, the piece de resistance of the Pursuit, is, of course, the electronic suspension. So you can actually go through and do your shock preload and the advanced settings and edit the weight for the rider and turn it on there, and the suspension then adapts to that and automatically sets its preload to that. So we'll go ahead and do that. There's a ton of information about the Pursuits. They have quite a bit of technology built into them. They are essentially a luxury car on 2 wheels for sure. This, of course, is running the 108 PowerPlus engine, which is 128 horsepower, or 128 foot-pounds of torque, and 122 horsepower. So quite a bit of power out of this engine. Of course, this being a touring platform, it is a very commanding seating position on this. I love the stock Challenger position, I think, more than any other motorcycle that Indian makes right now. The Challenger has this really nice laid-back position. In a sense, it's very comfortable. It is a feet-forward position on the motorcycle with the floorboards. Giant foot pedal for the braking, and you know, just has the toe shift. I would prefer a heel toe, which I do usually have if I have floorboards, but in this case it's not a big deal. I will say that on the top you do get your regular analog gauges. I love how Indian is generally redundant on their systems, so you have the speedometer and tachometer and everything that is analog, but you also have a digital speedometer readout as well on the screen. So you got two places and everything, so you're good on that. Right now I am in third gear and we are just cruising at 35 miles an hour at a little over 2,500 RPM. If I press that one more time to fourth gear, we're at 2,000 RPM, and I mean, she just rumbles on very happily. The one thing that I will note about the Pursuit is that it is by far the smoothest riding and most comfortable motorcycle that Indian makes at this time. So when you dive into the turns, I mean, you just do a simple press and then she goes back over. The transition is very crisp and smooth. In she goes, and you can power out very nicely. And this bike is over 900 pounds, but you would never, ever know that by the way she acts. She is a ballroom dancer, not a brawler. And that is the best way to describe the Pursuit, is ballroom dancer over brawler. Despite the horsepower ratings and despite the fact that this one has the inverted forks and the electric suspension and the sport bike style throttle response, especially in sport mode, which is why I put it in sport mode. I love having the response that this thing has, and it's just fantastic. We are a little warm. We're getting close to 90 degrees right now. It is 88 right now in Oklahoma City. So I'm going to put that windscreen all the way to the bottom. And, of course, all of my vents are open, and we are good there. One thing that I always have also enjoyed about Challenger Pursuits is the way they've designed this screen, because so let's talk about like the Road Glide. Road Glide, you have to kind of lean forward to reach up to its screen, whereas the rest of the information is down on the bottom. Well, here you literally can be sitting here and you can just press and you're good to go. And I like how it has all of those features and accessories on that one screen that you can go through without needing to thumb through everything, or even really have your hands leave the handlebars as well. Another cool thing about it is the locking gas cap. You do have your power here for your gas cap in the middle and your saddlebags left and right to lock it. And then on this side is the power for the heated grips. Again, you can control it through ride command, but you have the redundant button down there for heated grips as well. So you have two buttons that take care of the heated grip side of it. And then, of course, you have the seat with a haptic button that literally buzzes as you're pressing it, so you know if you are hitting the button down there for the heat up and down and middle. I love the way this thing rides, man. It is fantastic for a large machine. In reality, you just do not feel that they are this big, and they are quite large. The transmission is butter on this machine for sure. And the one thing about these bigger bikes is that they do actually have slippers on them, and so you have that slipper assist style clutch on there, and it works really well. I'm going to put that screen up just a smidge there. There we go. Not quite full up. That's perfect for me right there. No buffet whatsoever on the helmet. There we go. No buffet whatsoever on the helmet. I'm getting good airflow from the fairing there coming through, so that feels really nice. The airflow is perfect on it. And my gosh, this thing is just like riding riding your living room sofa with a lot of horsepower and good handling. It is so freaking comfortable. And that electric suspension and the adjustment on it is just butter. It feels so good. This bike is easy to manipulate and move because it's got a very low seat height still, only around 26 and some change inches, so very low to the ground. So my knee comes, or my leg goes straight to the ground and hits it, and has enough ability to move the motorcycle very nicely and easily. Though I will say, due to the weight, if you're on an incline, you will feel it when you're moving it, because it is over 900 pounds still, and it will remind you at some points. When you're riding, you totally forget it. This thing does not feel like that at all. It just feels responsive and really nice. I've definitely have to say that when it comes to the best handling touring bike with a full trunk and everything, the Challenger Pursuit models are definitely some of the best out there. I would say in standard bagger, the Challenger does get beat by the MGX-21, but that one is so niche market, nobody knows about it, and there's not very many of them in the world. But when I had that bike, it had inverted forks, that 21-inch front wheel, and some other things, causing it to be able to outturn a Challenger for sure, a little bit more lean angle and everything. But when it comes down to it, for mass market, there is nothing like the Pursuit or Challenger in the class. The Challenger does have a hydraulic adjustable rear shock versus the electric adjustable, so you do have to remove a panel and manipulate it. But other than that, they share mostly the same everything else. The fairing, the engine, and the seating position is a little different on the Challenger. It's a little more forward, but I think the Pursuit really takes that platform and just elevates it. And I know this is an expensive motorcycle. This is getting close to $40,000 altogether out the door at most dealers. So you're looking at a fairly upscale motorcycle for sure, but all that you get, it rides so well, and it's worth it, especially if you are using this for your daily commuter / long range tour / everything. This is a car replacement device right here, where you can save a little bit on insurance, a little bit on gas, and have a whole lot more fun doing it. So it's got adequate weather protection. If we hit rain, I've been on one of these before in some decent rain in the past, and it really does keep you dry. It's just got this whole area. There is no buffet anywhere. There's no wind whip. There's nothing. You can close off the vents and really shut that down, and it just likes it. It works super well in those regards. Visibility and the ergonomics on this motorcycle and the seating position is marvelous. Because you're sitting atop the motorcycle, you have a commanding view of the road left and right, and around you through the mirrors are really good. The placement's good. The switch cubes and everything is very feelable and glovable, so you know what you're hitting, you know what you've got, and that's the hallmark of somebody thinking in their design team there. Engine braking on the 108 PowerPlus, and downshifting is crisp, clean, and wonderful. Regular braking is also very good. We actually have twin Brembo brakes up front. So she grabs real good, easy to modulate these brakes. Turn-in feel is precise. The motorcycle transitions super well between point to point whenever you're turning. Going into the wind right now, so we're going to cut through it a lot better now. And this thing does not get disturbed by anything. It just rides beautifully and comfortably through everything. Through city streets, through broken roads, through everything. Hardly a bump bothers you. There's barely any vibration to speak of. The engine speaks just enough. I have just enough vibration in the handlebar, but in the feet, there's nothing down there to me. Very well isolated. There's nothing in the mirrors though, so I can see cleanly through them in motion. In sixth gear right now, I'm pulling at 65 miles an hour. I'm only pulling 27-ish, 100 RPM, so it is not going very much. You have a 6,500 RPM red line, so got quite a bit of engine left. Almost every Indian is hard set to stop at about 110 to 112 miles an hour, except for the FTR and some of the Scouts. I don't know about the new one. I didn't try to go that fast yet, but this one will very easily get there without taxing the engine whatsoever. But as a touring bike, I believe, and I've ridden a ton of touring bikes, my two favorite are Goldwing and Pursuit by far. The Goldwing is just because there is no rhyme nor reason for a massive motorcycle to be like a sport tourer. It's just funny in that way. It's super smooth, so there's hardly any character in the long run except for the handling and everything it does. So that's where it gains its character instead of through mechanical feel. Whereas the Pursuit does it perfectly by great handling along with a mechanical feel that connects you to the road and the machine. And everything feels so good despite having the electric suspension. You still have a lot of communication between you and the wheels to the road, so you know what it's doing. It's very flickable. Like I said, the bike really transitions well with no binding, and because of the seating position, you can put that hip into it and make it turn just by hip alone without even adding the arms. But if you needed to, you've got the full range of motion again, and a lot of cruiser style motorcycles that have you sit down onto the bike and try to muscle that weight around. You're definitely muscling them, where this one just doesn't feel like it. It feels more like you are just riding it really feels like you're riding a small cruiser. It's hard to describe until you actually do it. It's just so comfortable and so just well made. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, I weigh 209 pounds, so I'm sitting straight up to my shoulders straight down to elbow, straight out to the bar, nice comfortable fall. Leg goes straight out, and because of the floorboards, I can have the knees go straight down to my feet or slightly forward to my feet to just kind of move around and make a nice comfy thing. I like the size of the floorboards on Indians because they accommodate my size 14 feet really well. But this bike is absolutely a peach to ride. It is one of my favorites that Indian makes, and it is so comfortable. It's like riding a cloud. It is just so hard to describe, but it is an awe-inspiring ride. Because once you're done with being on the cloud, you can just press and go, you know. She'll go and eat the corners too. Brakes really well, everything works super well on it. So by far, one of my favorite touring motorcycles that anybody has put out. And I do like me a Roadmaster too. I love them too. That heated and cooled seat's a trick. But I will give up a cooled seat to have just this level of refinement that you just really do not find anywhere else short of a Goldwing. So at any rate, this is the Rabbit Hedgehog, and this is my short ride review of the 2024 Indian Pursuit Dark Horse with audio. Again, the audio is super good. It's super clear. Like, I wish I could tell it to you, but it's awesome. I will say that. And it has mood lights and all that good stuff. You know, it's all there. But, you know, monetization. But anyway, if you have any questions about the Indian Pursuit Dark Horse, just please ask them in the comments below, and also look at the description where the detailed information about the specifications, everything of the Pursuit will be. Also, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, AGVSportUSA, for providing us with the gear that keeps us safe, for Law Tigers of Oklahoma, for keeping us safe in the courtroom, but also being out there right now in the community and raising awareness to riders and rider safety and everything, doing their best out there for riders, and they are riders as well. And also Doug Crawford and USA Synthetics AMSOIL. We appreciate him for keeping our engines maintained and safe. At any rate, keep that shiny side up, folks, and we'll catch you on the next ride.